The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends. And what do we have going on here? Well, it's quad witching, so there's nothing new in that other than the fact that I was looking for some volatility that we did not find today. We're only up 1 point in the S&P cash. Yesterday, they pulled the cord on volume, so we really didn't know. But it came in fairly light. Today's just the same. We haven't crushed 2 billion shares on the NYSE consolidated tape yet. So what can you say about that? Well, it's certainly, we're kind of just kind of tiptoeing, prairie dogging up to 2,500. Got to 24.99.25. A lot of the work I do shows that this market is as stretched as it's been in a couple of years. So just hope that you don't get any big surprises. I had some people asking me why I didn't think that the North Koreans launching another missile the market didn't react to it. And there are a handful of people that really know what's going on with nuclear weapons and missiles. And that's why it kind of faded the last time without a lot of reaction. Are we back? I think we're back. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Last time we didn't get much reaction. We got even less this time. And the reason why is the missiles are breaking up. And a lot of people, well, it sounds like if they can get it there, that's all good and well. And the answer is not, if they can kind of get it there. It took over 100 missile launches for us here in the United States to figure out how to get a coating around the nose cone of the missile that would survive its re-entry back into the atmosphere, plus 5,000 degrees. One of the other things we also find out is that once you get one of these missiles into space, even above about 150,000 feet, there's a whole bunch of radiation. And we spent a lot of years using vacuum tubes in our missile systems, which were, prone to either burning out or breaking with the huge forces of launch. And we started trying to use silicon and transistors. And even the first satellite that we had put in orbit in 1962 only lasted about 30 or 45 days. Even though we knew about some of this, there were more mitigating factors on that 1962 Telstar satellite. But, space is tough. It's not just tough, it's very tough. And getting it into outer space is one thing. But getting a bomb to go off after it's come back into the atmosphere is a whole different thing. And it looks like the way these things continue to break up, they are nowhere close. They've got about 2 or 3 launches into the 100 it took for us. Now, maybe they get it in 50 or 75, or maybe it takes them 150. But right now, everybody's not freaking out and actually kind of happy because maybe they got a nuke, but maybe it just burns up in the atmosphere as the other shots have already happened. So if you're wondering why everybody's not freaking out, I think that the word has finally kind of made it around Wall Street for the most part that just having one and having a missile doesn't mean actually getting there. And they think it probably will take them maybe another year or two to figure that part out. And 2, they're pretty sure that if they shot this thing at, let's say, L.A. or San Francisco, that it's as likely to land halfway between Hawaii and San Francisco as it is to land somewhere halfway between L.A. and Las Vegas. Apparently not very good on trying to get these things to actually land where they want them to. In fact, it took us a good 15 years to get down within a mile of where it was going to be, and that's why we had so many nukes that we couldn't get as close as we thought. Anywhere from a mile to 3 miles was the average. Nothing hit except on exceptions. So a lot of people are thinking that, these guys are going to have to go through the same growing pains as us, and that gives us a lot more time. Unfortunately, the Chinese are not helping us at all. And if you did look at the news last night, I think we saw the futures kind of turn overnight after that happened, when the both Koreans and the Japanese are now asking for us to put nuclear weapons on their soil so that we can have kind of a deterrence, lest the North Koreans do anything else stupid. So what else do we have? That's kind of it. We will continue on. As always, we do like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And what else do we have going on? I think that's it. It's kind of a quiet day. Very surprising that we didn't get any volatility yesterday or today into quad witching. I thought maybe we might get some a little off the 935, which is when the futures on commodities and a lot of other things expire. And of course, at 410, I think it's 410, the options actually expire for, of course, equity options. Although I think you have the ability to actually exercise them into tomorrow morning. But I think you have to make sure that you've got a broker there that hasn't already amscray for vacation time on the weekend. But we'll see what's going on. Anyway, we'll go right now to a little bit of history, like we always do.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating. And on this day in 1950, the U.S. Marines landed Incheon on the west coast of Korea, 100 miles south of the 38th parallel, just 25 miles from Seoul. The location had been criticized as too risky, but the U.S. Supreme Commander Douglas MacArthur insisted on carrying out the landing. By the early evening, the Marines had overcome moderate resistance and secured Incheon. The Korean War began on June 25th, 1950, when 90,000 North Korean troops stormed across the 38th parallel, catching the Republic of Korea's forces completely off guard and throwing them into a hasty southern retreat. I lost an uncle there, not in combat. He was drunk and fell off a water tower. And never met him, of course, 8 years before I was born. But that's the lore of the white man. We'll be back after this break.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we got some stuff going on out here, so let's go ahead and get right to it. Some questions in the den, so we'll try to go through those. First is, what do I think of the SMHs? And let's go ahead and bring that up. Last night, the SMHs looked a little dull. And, of course, the biggest dullard that I know of, which is Jim Cramer, came to the rescue and started flogging Apple and telling everybody that they were idiots and that the market didn't know. They were just all too stupid. They're over 50 years old. That iPhone is really all about a bunch of pimply-faced 12 years old who just like animated emojis. And therefore, we just didn't know and we're all stupid. That's a very risky way to think in the market, and that is the wisdom of crowds tends to be correct.
Bring me the head of the false prophet, Jim Cramer.
As I said, I thought it would happen on Wednesday. It didn't. It basically went into yesterday, and that was the PR machine that is Apple. None of this stuff is good. They had a poor demo. They overpromised and underdelivered. They will be late into the production. And then there's some other stuff in here about Apple suppliers are up on some level of pre-orders or something like that. That's literally nonsense and a lie. Here's why that's true. The pre-order time for these things is something like 3 months. If you're going to build 100 million of something, you don't wait till the pre-order day and then suddenly everybody figures out that they need to build 100 million of some chip over the next, 3-6 months or something. They've known for a while, and those predictions are in their forward-looking statements. And the pre-orders for Apple. What you don't know is after Apple supplies the initial run of the product, what that demand would be after that. My thought was that we wanted to look over the last couple of days, the Skyworks Solutions and some of these others, and it really didn't look that bad. I think when we talked about it, the thing was down $1. And for $100 stock, that's not much. So what do we have now? Mostly this is NVIDIA. We're on options expiration. Everybody, I won't say everybody, too broad of a brush. Huge amount of people are massively short NVIDIA. And what we see today, I suspect, isn't a lot of change in NVIDIA's near-term future. But when a stock refuses to go lower and it has a monopoly, it can vastly overshoot previous highs. As I've said before, I wouldn't want to short it until we get later into the fall. But I wouldn't be surprised to see these things vastly overshoot to the upside before their monopoly status decidedly changes in the near future. And, it's one of these things that doesn't take long if you come in with a product that's half the price. And for a great deal of what NVIDIA is doing, that is an easy sell to come in and duplicate, at least for machine learning and for working on systems that are in the cloud. There's no reason to have their very expensive video cards when you're not using video at all. Of course, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but they kind of backed into a huge business, and it wasn't really planned. But that's not uncommon. A lot of people ask me, what's the most important book in technology to read? And I always say it's Robert Kringley's Accidental Empires. He was a author for InfoWorld, a magazine, and he had a column where people could call up and just leave on his I can't even think of the name anymore because we don't have any answering machines. Do you remember those things, class? Answering machines with cassette tapes in them. I'm just being a little obnoxious there. Anyway, you would call up and or fax him details, and he would print them without giving out who they came to. And all the juicy details were in his columns pretty much through the late 70s all the way through the early mid-90s. But his book is probably the best. A lot of people think that these people are incredibly smart. They tend to have a good idea and stand on the railroad tracks, and eventually a train comes by and runs them down and takes them to the promised land, that being huge amounts of money. And you can be there for a long time before it happens. Microsoft's been there a few times and waited 4 years for a market to develop for its products. Everybody then says they're suddenly smart. The answer is that they were at the right place at the right time, and maybe even at the right place far before the right time. And a lot of times they were just truly accidental empires. NVIDIA is kind of that. They have a good business. I'm not saying this is like Apple. They aren't going to zero tomorrow. I'm just saying that a huge amount of the business and a huge amount of their profit is not going away. 2 weeks ago, we talked about me going to Best Buy and that we couldn't find an NVIDIA card on the shelf of any Best Buy in Tampa. I went back a week later, still the same thing. That was probably a good indication that sales, at least at the retail level, continue to be good. NVDA. But the SMHs is not Apple alone. But I'm going to say that it's probably a fairly good indication that what we have here in NVIDIA is kind of we're getting kind of ready to finish up this ABC to the upside. Let's take a look at the expansion on that one. Let's go back a little smaller here. And that would take you to 188.89, which is about $8 more. And I think I could see it. I can. But the idea that a monopoly and someone has a moat on the business they have for machine learning is, I think, fanciful and maybe even idiotic at best. When they get back and competition really starts coming back in, this thing could probably easily get back around to the $80 level. So for me, this is a plum that you're going to have to wait for. I thought probably in October or November we're going to see that competition come in. And could we get to 188.89? I think we could easily do that. 202.63 is the 1-to-1 382. We'll get back to the SMHs when I come back. Record a call. You know, I remember Jim Rockford's had the little box on his desk before everybody even had regular, Panasonic answering machines they bought $50 or $100. And I can't remember the name of the company that made the thing. But my friend's dad had one of them. I always looked at it. It was kind of massive, big, kind of stuff we made before a lot of Japanese products came in, and smaller, cheaper, and lighter.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
I don't know what's going on here. I think maybe my cable's going bad. I'm going to have to check that out on my mic. Anyway, what do we have? We're looking at the SMHs, comment on that. And, of course, we're right close to the 1-to-1 ABC up in the SMHs. You know, we've kind of got at the light volume at the previous high. We're now breaking out. We have just half the volume of the previous high. I think we were looking at almost 9 million at $90. We're up to 91.22 with a little over 4 million shares now. That 1-to-1 goes to 91.51. Again, I suspect that we're getting a lot of a push from Apple today, which is back into the 160s. I knew it would only, well, it's right at 160. There's probably not a stock that's better at expiring within 25 cents of a strike price than Apple every month. So I wasn't vastly surprised to not see this thing expire at 160. I think we're getting a lot of juice out of that back into the into those. But I think a great deal of this has to do with quad witching, and a lot of people short some of these high flyers, probably inappropriately. We'll talk about some of the other high flyers that are kind of up here today too. But another question in the den was what's going on out here with Toshiba's chip unit. We've had Western Digital and others fighting over it, mostly a group led by Bain Capital and a handful of other folks. The powers that be in that country do not want Western Digital at all. Western Digital basically says that they've got some of a kind of agreement, and basically the government said that Western Digital was lying. They don't want any part of Western Digital, and it looks more and more as well, like he said, Seagate and Kingston Technology have joined these folks, but it's all about being able to get a quantity and the flow of memory products going forward. And Seagate, some of these other ones, I don't know how they're actually going to compete long term, but that's yet a story for another day. Somebody in the den saying that markets are starting to move on weather in South America. Maybe we'll hear more about that in the 3 o'clock hour with Tom O'Brien before I join him at 3:30, where we're going to talk technology as we have in the past. So anyway, 1-to-1 up here in the SMHs. We've got that 1-to-1 completing today with half the volume. And we're going into quad witching, and we're seeing a little bit of movement in Apple. And I guess this gets back to, let's take a quick look at Apple. But this couldn't really have gone more poorly for Apple, not only the demo, but the reaction to it. It was understated. And I'll continue to say this. I have seen so many companies build giant mausoleums to the future like Apple has, and I'm going to say 95% of them have all had trouble after they've done it. For some reason, there's some kind of magical magnetic force that draws middle-aged guys to buy Corvettes, and then suddenly blow up and divorce their wives, or buy new buildings in a growth spurt on their company, only not in a year and a half, only not able to afford it. And maybe Apple's a little different. Again, I don't think I'd short them, but this is one of the first times that we've seen a fairly decent downswing with energy off the September 1st high of Apple. So at best, it's a consolidation. At worst, we see a year or two of Apple underperforming until it figures out how to make its own product. Several reviews over the last few days have been, it's a great Samsung with animated emojis. And if I had to sum up the reviews, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, what else do we have going on? You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me today because I'm back in the White House at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com, and, of course, put messages in the den. Okay. Yeah, Indian Rocks Beach. You know, there's a lot of people just do not know and I guess they don't look at the map out there, but there's like a knuckle in Florida, And it starts right down there at Sarasota and Bradenton, and this kind of pushes all those pesky things either out to sea or inland over toward Orlando. We are truly living in God's country here in Clearwater, Florida, and surrounding areas. Ancient Indian burial grounds. Well, I hope you don't see anybody and have a small 7-year-old blonde daughter saying they're here. Okay, allegedly, I swear. Okay, let's take a look at some other stocks. We've been watching IBM bounce for a few days. Wanted to see how this one came into this. But again, I don't make a great deal out of Apple bouncing today other than it is doing what it does every options expiration, which is go to a giant strike price and destroy billions of dollars in options. Billions and billions. Okay, International Business Machines. A little gap down out here. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing run up to around 145. We were talking about this kind of come up, and maybe if you were lucky and you wanted to short this thing at 150, it continues to look problematic. I keep on waiting for the next reporting time, which I think is coming up here in a few weeks, where we're going to see whether or not Mr. Buffett continued to sell more IBM shares, but this one could. I wouldn't want to be short it other than at 150, and even then I'd worry. It looks to me like the CEO has the good opportunity of getting canned, and as other companies that we've seen that Buffett is involved in with, he's more than willing to move these folks out if they do not perform and if everything doesn't go the way that they said it would. And Romney, pretty much nothing's gone her way, and probably a good year or two until the next leg in her strategy comes about, and I can't see a lot changing before then. So the question is, when does she get canned, and does this thing bounce $5 or $10 when she gets canned? That would probably be a better bet, and then wait the year and a half until they get their next leg of technology out the door. What else do we have? Okay. Looking at NVIDIA, Toshiba. That's pretty much it. That's in a nutshell. Maybe we'll talk more about it in the 3:30 hour. I got a lot of stuff. Did I get any storm damage? Absolutely zero. The only thing that happened was a tree fell maybe 2 blocks from me and knocked out the internet. And that was the afternoon after the hurricane came through. So I didn't lose my internet until Monday afternoon. We'll be back in a minute.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to open your portfolio to a world of opportunity, consider the new market-safe emerging currency CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 5 equally weighted currencies from Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, and Turkey at a time when experts see great potential for global growth. Even better, it features a 7.0 leverage factor, which means you could earn a potential market upside payment of 7 times the CD's performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. The September 28th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Had some discussions, and maybe this is a 3:30 thing with Tom, but question about whether or not you're going to get hacked or credit card numbers stolen or something. In Florida, 80% of credit cards being hacked are hacked at the gas station. They've got scammers that you really can't see, and for a while they had to go in there and take the skimmer back to get all the credit card numbers and PIN numbers. They are now Wi-Fi'd, so that they don't even have to, all they have to do is drive up and get the cards wirelessly and never have to get back into them. The state started issuing security tape to go over the doors so that if things get opened up, but the guys pretty much duplicated the security tape pretty quick. I think that took a month. Just go into the gas station and pay at the counter is the best way not to get hacked in everything that you do, at least down here in Florida. I don't know if it's different elsewhere, but that's about it. Yeah, the credit card companies have gotten very good also with what machine learning people called outlier detection or anomaly detection. They call it both. And now they know that if you used a credit card in a gas station and then suddenly you use it in the airport out in LA, that there's something up. So they're very good now at figuring out what you do, your spending patterns, and when things are out of bounds. I was actually writing about one of the easiest ways to hack people's stuff today in the Tech Insider that came along. And well, you can read that. Always go to the front page of TFNN and check under investment newsletters. I do have a new position in the newsletter today, and probably maybe you have one Monday or Tuesday too. Looks like it's getting kind of free. I actually, to tell you the truth, pay cash at the gas station. I don't even trust the ATMs inside. You never know when someone's going to flip somebody $50 to let them exchange the card reader on the counter. And, you know, $50 is a lot to some guy working behind the counter for $10 an hour. So I don't trust any of them. I just go ahead and pay cash. It's quicker. They don't have to run my card. There's nothing wrong with cash. And especially down here when you get into hurricanes, you want some cash out there when the credit card system goes down. Yes, I've got eyes in the forward of my head too, occasionally. International business machines, like we said, a little pop there. I still suspect that you want to see 139.13 tested before you would even consider it. But again, I think the pop in this one's going to come when the CEO leaves. Buffett's already shot his. It probably had the worst words other than the what is it? The Wells Fargo CEO before he got fired for Romney. So Romney. So I think she's pretty short for this world, for the CEO of IBM anyway. Go back here and check some emails. Let's take a look at a few other stocks on expiration day. How do we got about 5 minutes left here. Take a quick look at Facebook. Come on, Mr. Facebook. Come on. Why wouldn't that be? Okay, Mr. Facebook. Well, kind of just out in here in this range. Right now, you'd have to read this as lower highs and higher lows for the most part. It did come back to the breakout of the, what is that, July 27th, that had 69 million shares, came down with 11 million shares, and you can maybe say 15 million shares. On August 29th at 165, now it's bounced, but it doesn't have much out here. You've got a lot of stuff going on. Just kind of a quiet period for Facebook. They've been fairly good at shutting up for a while. They thought that they needed to be in the press every day. I think they're doing a little bit better not being in the press. See in FLX. Okay. I wanted to see this thing. It's just gone sideways 3 days. There's going to be some news affecting Netflix. We'll talk about Tom with Tom O'Brien in the 3:30 time slot for technology. But it is you got to look at that and kind of scratch your head. Netflix is kind of an interesting trader. The energy off this August 21st low has not been all that exciting. I think you could test the 164.23 a great deal, and that's it. I am a little paranoid. I think Tom's probably talking about the time I pasted over the camera on my tablet. But then we found out later that even the head of the FBI did the same thing. So what else do you got? Okay, let's take a look at a few more. In fact, let me pull up this one here today because there was a few. We talked about Winnebago yesterday. So does Zuck. Winnebago looks like it's getting ready to finish its expansion. We talked about this one for a little while. This is a pretty big one. I just don't understand it, though, at gas at 270. This one looks probably of these stocks that ran for hurricanes and the rest of it, which I guess this is what it is. This one has probably the easiest ability to get back to $30. This is the last huge day of volume on the 21st of June. Came up with 3.4 million shares. If you go east of Tampa out I-4, there's the biggest RV place in the world. And you just go from like one exit on the interstate to a couple of exits down, and you're still going by this place, and all the RVs parked down here for the winter. But, these things don't get a lot of use. People buy them, don't use them nearly as much as they think that they're going to. And they last a fairly long time, again, because of not being used all the time. Bigger problem with most of these are just like boats. Lack of use leads to all kinds of problems. But if this is an ABC, you got $46.20 on it with a $40.45 high today. The energy just doesn't really say that you've got a ton of juice out on this one. I still suspect that the high gas prices could actually snap this one back fairly quickly. Don't see any signal on this one to short it, but I think this thing could be in an upper trading range and come back to $30 eventually. So keep an interesting eye on this one. Nothing that quickly. We'll look at the XLE when we come back. is that $50 level on crude. What's that going to be? We'll be back in a minute.
Tom O'Brien has just announced that he'll be coming to Boston September 30th for a free workshop, The Art of Timing the Trade. Join Tom O'Brien Saturday morning, September 30th at the Boston Marriott in Burlington, Massachusetts, as he breaks down his trading methodology and provides you with the tools to become a more successful and profitable trader. Everyone that attends in person will receive a free signed copy of Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. Daryl Martin from Apex Investing Institute will also be presenting for 90 minutes at this free event.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Join me in Boston on September 30th as I return to my hometown for a workshop about the art of timing the trade. I look forward to seeing all the tigers and tigresses for this special free event.
All action starts early at 7:30 a.m. with a continental breakfast and wraps up at about 1 p.m. Topics that Tom will be covering during his presentation include quality volume, cause and effect, ABC structures, swing points, and much, much more. For all the information on this free Boston event taking place Saturday, September 30th, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
And as we come back, we'll look at energy out here. Again, we were talking about this, and I thought, you know, certainly on volume, you were going to get a move. I just like that the energy probably wasn't a little lighter on the way up to short it. You certainly got that. Again, I'm very nervous about playing expiration days for anything more than a few hours. But certainly this is acting correctly. You got up within 12 cents of the previous high. You rolled right off of it yesterday. You did so. You were 6 million? Yeah, 6 million shares light off the July 28th high. So you got pretty much everything. 7.3 on the way down, 6.6 on the way up. So you got to figure what you're 15% light on the upside. I would have liked to seen this thing actually come out a little lighter than that. You've got a lot of factors out here that kind of you want to be watching for, and that is certainly when product really starts flooding the market yet again. We're probably going to go back down to somewhere, at least in Florida, around $2, $2.15 gallon gasoline. So that crack spread is probably going to drop. We're going to go back to a regular market. Everybody's going to have a little fear and keep the prices up a little higher. And of course, the higher the price, especially the higher price over market, the more likely that you're going to see more rigs come back online. And of course, that means that eventually we'll have a glut of oil and we'll get pushed down again. The question is just how fast that happens. But I didn't look at it. Let's go ahead and take a quick look before we end the day here on crude oil. 49.93. So we're all over that $50 level. Certainly the XLE is telling you that you've got a good chance of at least a intermediate term high. My thought is that you may be up here just a little while with a few of the hurricanes still coming off of Africa. But probably going to see a fairly decent pop back down. I think we're just in a bigger trading range, and that means that you could get back down to the 61.80, which is the August 21st low. We'll be back and see you at 3:30. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you Monday. Same bat channel, same.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Tom O'Brien,